What is up, guys? As promised, 7 p.m. here we are going live to talk about the new music video dropping this Friday. Got my Def Leppard shirt on, got an ice cream stain on it. It's all good. I'll try and keep up the comments as I usually do. But yeah, let's get right to it. Brand new video this Friday, 9 a.m. It's a crazy one. It's probably my personal favorite video that we've ever shot. It's really, really crazy. And if there's one thing that I can absolutely promise about this video on Friday, is that it'll definitely put a smile on your face. And that's what this whole thing's about ultimately. So brand new video this Friday. There's two ways to see it first. I always tell you guys this. You can either A, subscribe to my YouTube and turn your notifications on, or you can B, join the Hangover Gang newsletter, and I will personally send you an email Friday morning before it even drops on YouTube, and you get to see the video early. You'll see it before everybody else. So those are the two ways. New music video Friday. See it first by subscribing to YouTube or joining the Hangover Gang newsletter. I will put links to both of those things in the comments of this video as soon as we wrap up. When you see my comment, give it a like, and it'll push it up in the feed and make it easier for everybody else to find it. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna take some questions and stuff. If you guys have some questions, just like spit them out and I'll do my best to answer them. But the main thing is new video Friday. Tomorrow morning, Thursday morning at 9 a.m., I'm going to drop the artwork for the single, as I always do, the day before the video. So if you're here on this page tomorrow at 9 a.m., you will see the single art, and that will give you the name of the song, and you'll be able to tell a lot about this record from the title and the single art. So meet me here tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'll give you guys a single art, and you can sort of guess what the video is about from that. So yeah, single art tomorrow, 9 a.m. New music video this Friday, 9 a.m. I guess I'll just blow through the easy stuff real quick. I just sent out like 800 copies of the album, the old album, Death Threats, my last album. If you want one, I got them right here. Every single copy is signed. I sign them, package them, label them, and mail them myself. So if you want a copy of this album, or you want one of the new t-shirts or a ski mask or something like that, www.hangovergang.com. Use the code OFFICIALMEMBER for 20% off your order. It works for anything. And then I ordered some of the new shirts myself. So there's this one. It says Hangover Gang at the bottom, and there's like this skeleton with like a bunch of arrows and shit stuck in them, and it says hell or high water, cuffs or coffins, gallows or guillotines, ditches or daggers, barbed wire or bullets. It's Hangover Gang forever. So there's that one. There's also this one, which is 4 Grim Reapers hanging out together, and at the bottom it says strength without numbers. There's also like a super cool shirt that has like my face on it, but it's like a zombie face, and there's like a lot of blood and crazy stuff going on. I don't have that one yet. I just ordered it, so I'm just waiting on it. But yeah, I designed those shirts with like a really good friend of mine from Canada. He's like one of my favorite artists ever. So those and the signed albums and blah, blah, blah. It's all in the store. www.hangovergang.com. That's all I got. I don't have any more cheap plugs. So now we can get down to the thick of things. I can answer some questions. If you guys want to know something about the video on Friday, or you want to know something about the new album that's coming out right away, I guess I should talk about that. Coming soon, my next album. I can't tell you the name of the album, but you guys already know the name of the album. You just don't realize that you know the name of the album. It's hidden somewhere on Death Threats. So I don't know. You can pop in Death Threats and listen to all the records and see if you can figure it out. It's pretty obvious, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this new video on Friday, and then pretty much ASAP after this video comes out and does its thing, I'm going to drop the album. So I think the album has like 21 songs on it. So after this next video comes out, I think 6 songs from the album will be in video format on the internet, including this next one. And then there's 17 unreleased songs on the album. I don't even think we've shot videos for the best songs yet. This album is like super crazy. Like every song is like a smash hit, I think. So yeah, there'll be like 15, yeah, my math was fucked up there. 15 unreleased songs, I think, and 6 songs that are already out. So tons of new music. I'll be doing like signed copies of the next album and everything like that too. So, new video Friday, new album on the horizon. You can subscribe to YouTube to see the new video. You can join the mailing list to see the new video. Also, if you guys join the mailing list, you'll get like the pre-order for the album, and there's always like promo codes in there and free downloads and all type of stuff like that. So join the Hangover Gang newsletter. I'll put the links, like I said, in the comments below as soon as this video is done, and then you can just click the link, put your email in, and then I'll email you. And it's not like a spammy thing. I only send like 1 or 2 emails a month. And it's just, like I said, it's always like videos or tour schedules or promo codes or album announcements or whatever. So it's kind of like a cool thing. But yeah, if anybody's got some questions, fire them out. It's been like a few weeks since we did a live, so I'll do my best to smash through as many questions as I can. I'm watching you guys' comments come in, and I'm seeing all the like heart emojis and stuff. So thank you guys very much. I love you. Elvis says, what do you use to record? My computer and a microphone primarily. That's a loaded question. Depends if you're talking microphone, software, or what. I'm just scrolling through you guys' comments. Yo, I've already seen like 10 people asking about like, what do you think about this guy that dissed you? And like, what do you think about that guy that dissed you? And what do you think about all these diss records? I don't think anything about those people. I don't think about diss records. I got so much stuff going on in my life that I like have very little time to like consider or think about or analyze how I feel about a bunch of like Jimmy ass rappers writing crappy songs about me. Just what it is. I've been there and I did that one time, and it was like really, really fun, but it was also just like a colossal waste of energy. So yeah, I don't really think much about it. John Snow says, what's after the album? Jeez Louise, let's not get ahead of ourselves, man. Let me drop this brand new video on Friday and let me get the album out, and then we'll go from there. I mean, really like a bunch of tours, but I'm not like, I don't make super like long-term plans. I'm like a day-to-day type of dude. Like, I just decided like a few days ago, I was like, yo, I'm gonna drop another video. Fuck it. Let's just do it. And that was like on a whim, and that's how I like to do things, because I feel like if things are like too premeditated and too planned, in some situations that works great, but sometimes it's just like you gotta just go with your gut feeling, and it just felt like, yo, I need to like put out a video. And I had the perfect song, and I had a little time frame, and acting on that gut feeling and that impulse ended up making like what I think is probably the best video we've ever made, personally speaking. I think it's one of the best videos we ever made. So I'm super excited to give that one to you guys on Friday. It's like completely different than probably what you're expecting, as usual. But yeah, it's cool. Joseph Tyler says, what do you think about gun control? Oh man, heavy, bro. I guess that's in relation to the shooting at the Walmart in El Paso. Like, I don't know, man. Such a like a loaded, no pun intended. Like it's just like a loaded topic, dude. But like, I'm not one for like gun control or like taking people's guns away or anything like that. I'm not into that. Yeah, it's like, it is what it is, bro. I don't think it's the guns that are the problem. It's the fucking morons that have the guns. So I don't know how to combat that. I know that like people were Trump said it was video games, and I don't know, bro. I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto in my day. It never made me want to steal anybody's car. I play a lot of first-person shooters. It never made me want to go out and cap somebody. You know, I play a lot of racing games. It doesn't make me want to jump in my car and speed through the city. So I don't know. I don't think... I mean, obviously, like, pop culture and different influences have, like, a negative effect on people and stuff, but you gotta be, like, a fucking idiot to let those things touch you on such a deep level that, like, you go out, you let it manipulate the way that you think, and then you go out and act on it. That's some, like, you know, that's some crazy shit. So, I don't know what the answer is, bro, but big love goes out to everybody that was affected from that shooting, man. That was awful. So I guess we'll keep talking shit and answering questions, but I got to keep coming back to it, man, because that's why we're here. Brand new video Friday at 9 a.m. There's two ways to see it. First, you can either A, subscribe to my YouTube, or B, join the Hangover Gang newsletter. I'll put links to both those things in the comments. Please, when you see my comment, like it so it pushes it to the top of the feed. It's easier for other people to find. All you'll have to do is click the link and enter your email for the Hangover Gang newsletter, and then you'll get like the free downloads, early access, merch codes, tour schedules, blah, 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 blah. And you just have to click the link to the YouTube, hit subscribe, and you're good to go. YouTube will notify you when the new video drops. So that's my spiel, which I'll probably come back to 2 or 3 more times while we're doing this thing. And then I guess, yeah, I already talked to you guys. There's brand new t-shirts in the store that I designed with one of my favorite artists. My album is there. Death threats. Every copy's autographed. Go pick one up. I signed them, packaged them, labeled them, and shipped them personally. Grab one before I run out, and the next album comes out, and then you'll have both CDs, and you can put them both in your CD player and listen to the entire journey, or you can mount them on the wall or whatever. That's what I'm going to do. I used to have one mounted on the wall right there, but the YouTube plaque took its place. Okay, I'm just like, I'm looking at you guys' comments, I'm scrolling through, I'm looking for, questions. If you guys have some good questions, fire them out there. Jeremy Johnson says, bro, are you considering getting a manager and signed to a record label? No, not signed to a record label. No manager. I've had like a ton of people come along, you know, along the way saying that they wanted to manage and they wanted to help out with this and that. And it's just like never really worked out. It's just like really hard for me because a manager, like industry standard for a manager is you give them 15% of all the money that you make, regardless if they put in the legwork and secured the bag or if I put in the legwork and secured the bag. And to me, it's just like, I've been working at this stuff for like 10 years or just over 10 years now. I put in like so much legwork and so much energy and so much time and effort and everything else that I just like can't bring myself to be like, okay, like now that things are cracking, like come aboard, manager, and take some of this money that I've been working, you know, my entire life for. Like I just can't bring myself to do it. And it's just like really difficult. Like I take this shit so seriously that like everything I do, from like social media to writing the songs to my onstage performance to everything, I'm like very, very calculated with this stuff. And I'm very like meticulous with the way I say things and what I say and the songs that I make and the way I present my artwork for the albums and the singles and everything. A lot of people say, oh, it's good to have a manager because they can lessen the load. They can help you with these things. But it's like, I'm so particular about this stuff, and I don't think I could find somebody that cares about my music the way that I care about it. There's nobody on the planet that'll care about it enough to be able to match my need for the best product. You know what I mean? So I'm giving like a AAA effort all the time, and like I could hire a manager and he could help me out and lessen the load, but like, is he gonna give it a AAA effort? I'd say that's impossible because he doesn't care about it as much as I do. He doesn't care about you guys as much as I do. He doesn't love this whole movement like I love this movement because I saw it come from the fucking mud. I saw it come from nothing. into like what it is today. And like I sacrificed groceries for music videos, and I lived in apartments with rats and cockroaches, and I went to the church every second Sunday of the month to get free food, and like I did all those things. And because I went through that shit, seeing what it is now just means the most to me, you know? And I don't think somebody that wasn't there for that struggle could like truly appreciate this and take it as seriously as it needs to be taken. So that's my thing about the managers. As far as record labels go, it's just like, I think we're building like a really incredible thing right now. We get to talk about what we want to talk about, shoot music videos for songs that we want to release. We're on our own schedule. We can fill albums up with content that we believe in. And it's just like, that's all I want to do. I just want to do what I love for the people that love what I do. And it'll keep me happy, and it'll keep my fans and my friends and my family happy. And the second we bring a record label into that equation and they're like, oh, this song's too racy, and this is too edgy, and that's too controversial, and the video needs to look like this, then it's just like we start losing control of like the car that we built. It's like you're letting somebody else put their hand on the steering wheel. And I just don't feel like fighting somebody else for the fucking steering wheel all the time. Even though they have money and resources and connections and relationships, I just like don't care. It's not worth it to me to sacrifice the integrity of what we've built so somebody else can essentially like lend resources to the movement. We'll get our own resources and we'll be just fine without them. Before anybody asks if I like Def Leppard, I don't. Def Leppard sucks. I don't like 80s hair metal. I think it's lame. I'm more of like a 70s like Zeppelin guy, but I just really like the color and it matched my headband, so I was just like, fuck it. It's actually Nova's shirt. Like 5 minutes before this live stream, I was like, yo, can I have this shirt? I'm gonna cut the sleeves off it. So here we are. Richard says, what did you have to do to use the DeLorean in I Wish? What did I have to do? I just had to pay for it, really. I had to find it. I did a lot of research to find out where that car was and who was in possession of that car, and then he ended up just being like a really cool guy, and yeah, told him about the music video, sent him the song, he really dug it, gave me like a day rate, and he came out and did the damn thing, so it was cool. If you haven't seen it, check out I Wish on YouTube. It's probably one of my most sentimental songs ever. Okay, I'm just going through comments again. Alyssa Craven says, how much do you believe that the news, music, etc. are facades, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, but and are brainwashing? I mean, it's all bullshit, man. It's just like, the news is just like a soap opera for like grown-ass men. That's all it is. It's just like, it's just bizarre. Like, I don't smoke weed anymore, but like, you ever got high and watched the news? It's the weirdest shit ever. It's like, because you know when you get high, you have this kind of like shift in consciousness where you kind of just like see things a little different. Like, yo, if you're out there and you're smoking weed, smoke a joint and put on the news and tell me that's not the weirdest shit you've ever seen in your life. It's bizarre. Like, it just seems like a TV show, man. It's weird. But yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if it's like, it's hard to say. A lot of it is bullshit. A lot of it is rooted in truth, but is like skewed and is like presented to people in such a way to like influence, you know, how people think and how people move and stuff like that. But like, even in the most bold-faced lies, there's always like a little bit of truth. So it's just about like sifting through like what you're reading and what you're watching and stuff like that. And just finding out what's true to you. Like, it's weird. It just reminds me, I was like on a music video set the other day, and I had this phone call come in, and I was on set with this kid. So this kid's standing there, and I picked up my phone. I said, hello? And there was nobody on the other end of the phone. And I said, hello? And nothing happened. And then I hung up the phone, and the kid, who's like 10 years old, was like, idiots. And I was like, yeah, they're idiots. And then the kid said, oh, they're probably Democrats. And I was like, yo, like, you're 10 years old. Like, that's such a crazy thing to me for a 10-year-old to say. Like, whether Democrats are idiots or not, like, you know, there's bullshit on both sides, Republican, Democrats, whatever. There's bullshit on both sides. There's idiots on both sides of that fence. But it was just like bizarre for a kid who, like, you know, isn't even old enough to smoke a cigarette or have a drink to just have her mind made up like that. Like, oh, Democrats are idiots. It was just like wild to me, because it's just like, yo, like, you're so concrete and absolute in your thinking at such a young age. It's like, and that comes from listening to their overhearing parents and just like whatever, watching the news like we were talking about and stuff like that. And it's just like, yo, like, hopefully she has room to grow, and one day she can grow up and be like, okay, like I said, sift through the information, sift through the Democrat perspectives, sift through the Republican perspectives, sift through the whatever, and pick out what you like from everything and be like, this is true to me, this is true to me, that's true to me, and form like your own opinion and your own position, instead of just being like, this entire group of people that share this political ideal, they're idiots. Like, this is such a wrong way to go about things, man. Because there's idiots everywhere, and they subscribe to all different types of politics and all different types of religions and all different types of whatever. So anyways, I'm talking about that kid because it relates to like what we were talking about with the news and the media. You just got to sift through everything. Never have your mind like completely 100% made up. Like, you can stay at 99% made up and just leave 1% open, so at least you can have a conversation with somebody else and then try to understand what somebody else is saying. And at the end of the day, if you don't dig it, then you don't dig it. Fuck that guy. Fuck his opinion. Go on with the rest of your life feeling however you want to feel. But there's got to be room in there to shuffle things around, especially as you get older and grow and change and blah, 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 blah. And while we're talking about it, new music video on Friday, 9 a.m. There's 2 ways to see it first. I can't believe I snuck that plug in there so seamlessly. That was sick. Friday, 9 a.m., new video. 2 ways to see it first. Subscribe to YouTube. Join the Hangover Gang newsletter. I'll put links to both of those things in the description. Please, when you see my comment, give it a like and push it up on the list. That was really oddly sexual, but that's cool. When you see my comment come in, give it a like, pop it up on the list. It'll make it easier for other people to see it. You can click the link and join the mailing list. I will email you the new video Friday morning before it even goes to YouTube, or you can subscribe to YouTube and YouTube will notify you when it goes live. Also, I don't want to talk about all the new t-shirts and the signed albums and stuff again, but if you are so obliged to buy my shit, www.hangovergang.com, use the promo code OFFICIALMEMBER for 20% off your order. I'd really appreciate it. Then I could throw out this Def Leppard shirt and buy like a really cool Led Zeppelin shirt. So appreciate the help. I'm looking at the comments, looking for a question. Gabriel Garcia says, do you feel more drained by people now compared to before you made it big? That's a really good question. Yes and no. Like, obviously, I just kind of stay away from all the negative stuff because that is draining. I don't care how cool a rapper seems, or a musician, or an actor, or whatever. I don't care how cool he seems. I don't care how cool he acts. I don't care how invincible he presents himself. That negativity shit is draining. 100%. It doesn't matter. Like, people can say like, oh, I don't care about it. It doesn't matter. Blah, blah, blah. A lot. I do that. But sometimes it gets to you. even if it doesn't hit you on a surface level, like your body and your mind keep score of that shit subconsciously, and eventually that shit weighs heavy on you, and it sucks. So it's like now I just like stay away from it. I don't read the negativity. Somebody writes a shitty article about me or has something undesirable to say in the comments, like whatever, I just delete it, block them, don't read it. I just don't have time for it. Because yeah, of course it would be more draining now that there's 1 million people watching instead of 5,000 people watching. Of course it's more draining, but it's also like more energizing because that 1 million people, the majority of them are saying positive things and are showing love and are encouraging and supportive. So yeah, like it is more draining, but it's also like more invigorating and more energizing and funner than it's ever been, and more positive than it's always been. But with the positive you get the negative. That's just part of the game. That's just the way the universe goes. So that's really it. I'm just going through you guys' comments again. I know that I do my best to keep up, you guys. I'm sorry they come in so quick. A lot of good questions. Somebody asked, what made you start your career? I've told that story like a bunch of times, but it always seems to come back. I don't know if it's like, I'm sure the majority of the people in this room right now have heard that story. But yeah, I've been writing music like forever, since I was a kid. I used to write poetry and stuff like that. My granddad used to write poetry. My dad did a little bit of writing. And then I guess just through the miracle of DNA, I got like some good writing genes. So I've been writing poetry for the longest time. And I always had like a very creative sort of soul, or the creative essence about me. I just wasn't always sure like what form that was going to take. I wrote a lot of poetry. I like drew a lot. I started writing rock songs, but I never had a voice for rock songs. I didn't have like I wasn't a Lemmy or a Robert Plant or somebody like that. I just didn't have the voice for it. Kurt Cobain, whatever. And then I found pro wrestling, and I was a pro wrestler for a long time, and that shit is just like an art form all in itself. So that was like my main thing. I got to express my creativity through pro wrestling and stuff. And then it was crazy, man, because I started wrestling when I was like 14 or 15 years old, started training, and like 1 month after training, I had my first match, and it was with two guys that had been training for like 2 years, and they'd never even had a match on a real show. And then I trained for a month, and we had our first match all together, so they were super jealous of that. They were angry. And it was just one of those things I just like picked up. It just clicked, and I just figured it out really fast. So I'm like, by the time I'm 16, I'm on a bi-weekly TV show, and then I'm 17, and I'm like on pay-per-view with WWE and WCW guys. I'm like riding roller coasters with Buff Bagwell and hanging out with Lex Luger and bumping fists with Scott Steiner and wrestling with Billy Kidman and like all types of stuff like that. So like when you're 16 years old and you start doing all these amazing things, when people start telling you you're going to be WWF champion one day, you're amazing, blah, 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 blah. It kind of gets to your head a little bit. So I got like a really bad reputation for being an asshole. Wrestlers would come to the shows. I'm 16, they're 35, and they'd be like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this and this and this tonight. And I'd be like, no, those are bad ideas. Let's do it this way. And people didn't like that. So I got a bad reputation. People started trying to hurt me and stuff in the ring. I blew out my knee. My back was hurt. I had some injuries. So just like combined like politics and the injuries, those things together was just a bad mixture. So I stepped off. I walked away. Revisited sort of my love for music, and started really writing songs, bought a microphone, bought some software, started making beats, started writing records, and it's just evolved into this. And like prior to all that, like my first CD I ever owned was like a Tupac album. I bought it from a pawn shop. My dad gave me $5, was like, buy anything you want. I ended up buying Tupac All Eyes on Me. Never even heard it before, but it was like a 2 CD set. I figured 2 CDs for $5 is as good a deal as I'm going to get. So I bought that, fell in love with hip hop, obviously there was like a little bit of a disconnect between like a white kid from the suburbs and Tupac, a black man dealing with all types of wild scenarios that I had no experience with. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there. But then Eminem came out and he looked like me and he sounded like me, and I just related to him, and I was like, okay, that guy opened the door. Now I can see that I could do that. I'd never seen a white rapper before. I was like, okay, that's the bridge that I needed. And then I started writing rap songs and shit, but like never seriously got into the wrestling thing. The wrestling thing fell out, and then the music stuff took off. So yeah, on the topic of wrestling, they were right when they said I was going to be WWE champion one day. Yeah. Me and Nova went to WWE a couple months ago. I spent $400 on this fucking thing. Wasn't the smartest decision your boys ever made, but I guess all I had to do is become a famous rapper, and then I got enough money to buy the WWE championship, so it all worked out in the end. I'll put that down there for a minute. So what else we got going on here? Aaron Trickler says, cheap plug for the indie wrestlers doing the grind for $20 on a good night, barely making gas money. Yeah, you either know some indie wrestlers or you are an indie wrestler. Bro, I wrestled for years. I never made a dime. I didn't make $1. It wasn't until way late in my career, after doing ring crew, setting up the ring 1,000 times, that I started making any money. That's an unforgiving business. Alyssa says, what's your advice to female rappers wanting to get into the industry? Oh, geez, that's tough. You should ask my girlfriend that. What's my advice for female rappers trying to get into the industry? I don't know. I think it's probably a male-dominated industry, just like many industries are. So I think it's just important to just speak up. I think that a lot of girls, when they get in a room full of dudes, they're kind of soft-spoken, or maybe it's an intimidation thing, or maybe it's just that men just talk over women a lot. I don't know. But speak up for yourself. Make sure your voice is heard. Just in music, just like in movies, just like in modeling, just like in TV, like at some point in time, sexuality is going to come into play, and they're going to try and market your sexuality and objectify your sexuality or whatever, because it'll be good for the album, or it'll be good for promo, or it'll be good for views, or it'll be good for whatever it is. And if you're cool with that, rock and roll, sister, do your damn thing. But if you're not cool with that, don't let anybody in this business ever make you question your morals. If you can keep your words and your thoughts and your actions consistent with what you believe to be right, that will take you farther in this business than putting your character in question to please strangers on the internet or please potential customers. So that, I guess, that would be my biggest advice for a girl trying to get into hip hop. Don't take no shit from anybody. Make sure that your voice gets heard, and just like do what you want to do. If you want to like shake your ass and do that whole thing, then do that. If you don't let anybody convince you otherwise. So that's it, I guess. I hope that was half decent advice. I know that my girlfriend Nova would have way better advice than that, but alas, I am just a man rapper, and that's as best as I can do. So I'm gonna take more questions in a minute. One more time, brand new video Friday. Tired of me saying yet? Too bad. Brand new video Friday, 9 a.m. 2 ways to see it. First, subscribe to YouTube or join the Hangover Gang mailing list. I will put links to both of those things in the comments. All you have to do is click, enter your email. I will personally send you an email Friday morning with the link to the video in it. Or you can subscribe to YouTube, turn on your notifications. YouTube will tell you, hey, Tom MacDonald just dropped a video and the internet's really mad, so you should probably come see it right now. So those are your 2 ways. I'll put the links in the comments. Like it when you see it to push it up in the feed, and other people will see it, and it'll make it easier for them to do those things. I gotta say, I'm getting pretty good at this promo thing. I hate doing promo. I hate selling t-shirts. I hate selling albums. I hate telling people to subscribe to YouTube. I hate telling people to join fucking newsletters and stupid shit like that. But it's like a necessary evil, because like the same guy who says fuck managers and fuck record labels and I'm gonna do this independent, like I have to compensate for that by saying buy my t-shirts and buy my albums and come see my shows and watch my music videos and stream my music on Spotify and blah blah blah. That's just like the price I gotta pay for being that guy. All right. I'm just like looking at your guys' comments right now. If you guys have any good questions, fire them out there. I'm scrolling. Somebody asked if I would play their wedding reception. That's weird. I get a lot of requests to play weddings. I think that would just be like, I would be the worst wedding singer ever. Like, I just feel like that would be the most awkward vibes. Like if the groom or the bride really likes me or whatever, that's probably going to be the only person there having a good time. Both sides of the family are going to be sitting there like, who the fuck invited this guy? And why have I been listening to him talk shit about mumble rappers for 30 minutes while rhyming? But I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm open to it. I don't know. I don't have a record label and I don't have a manager, so I need to make money somehow. I hate selling t-shirts and I don't want to push albums out the ass. So yeah, I guess I'm taking wedding gigs. If you guys are getting married, let me know. I need the money. Kristen Kane says, would you do a live show for older youth that look up to you? What a contradictory thing to say. Older youth? Are they old or are they youth? That's insane. Yeah. I'll do some live shows for the older youth. For those senior babies. Let's do it. Preston Yoakum says, what do you think of extraterrestrials, conspiracies, and Bigfoot? Dang. I think that everybody rating Area 51 is like the worst idea ever. But I fuck with aliens super heavy. Love the alien shit. Definitely aliens exist. Definitely 1000% there's aliens. We are the aliens, man. No, I don't know. There's definitely aliens. I don't know about Bigfoot. I used to really be into Bigfoot and stuff like that, but it just seems like all the evidence just stacks up against there being a Bigfoot. I'm not going to completely write it off because I like the mysterious shit about life. That's what makes this whole thing so interesting to me. That's why I really like conspiracies too. I don't take any of it to heart. I don't write out anything as like 100% facts because some of it's crazy. It's like really wild shit. Like the government is composed of reptilians from Mars and they're like, they do things to scare us because they're mining our fear to power their spaceships, and like the Earth's really flat and like there's a wall out there in the ocean and you'll run into it with your boat and just crazy shit. But I don't write it off. I fight with Nova about flat Earth and shit all the time. Not even because I think the Earth's flat, but just because I think it's fun to talk about. And like, I don't know, man, like, is there people living inside a hollow Earth? Like, did somebody build the moon? Is it a satellite to keep surveillance on us? I don't fucking know. But I would rather consider the possibility and just have it floating around in my head all day than being like, nope, It's just the moon. Nope. The Earth's round. Nope. There's no aliens. Nope. There's no Bigfoot. That's just so boring. You remember how tight life was when you thought that like Santa Claus was real, or that like the Easter Bunny was real, or the Tooth Fairy was real? And then like one day you like grow up and like the world's like, hey you, smack out of it. All that shit's fake. Like, put on this tie and sit at this desk for 14 hours a day and be miserable. It's like, no. To me, it's just like flat earth and aliens and hollow earths and reptilian presidents and all this shit. This is just like the fairy tales for grown-ups. And I'm with it. All the way. I just saw my girlfriend commented, stop this. People are going to know that you're crazy. Just be lucky. Just be happy I didn't wear my tinfoil hat and suit on this live stream, Nova. Okay, I'm just like looking at the comments again. Michael Polly says, Tom, can you give me a shout out? There you go. Shout out to you, Michael Polly. Aaron Trickler says, does mental health issues... Oh, sorry, I lost it. Does mental health issues like anxiety and depression, play a role in your music or style? Or does it serve as inspiration to your come up? Issues play a role in your music. Yeah, like, I don't know. I talk about mental health stuff quite a bit. I think it's important. I feel like it's weird. Talking about mental health is very similar to talking about a lot of the other things that I talk about in my music, whether it's politics or religion or social standards or the economy or quote unquote the controversial things that I talk about, race shit and politically incorrect shit. Like, to me, like, mental health just fits in perfectly with all that stuff, because the songs about race and the songs about politics and the songs about social standards and the songs about morality and the songs about guns and shit like that, those songs are like about topics that people only have conversations about alone in their houses with their best friends. You know? That's what's so important to me about those songs, is that it takes like a very private conversation and it puts it out to the world, and it's just like, yo, how do you feel about this? And then I get to sit back and watch everything. Like, every song I've ever made, this is shit I've talked about, like, with my girlfriend, with my parents, with my friends. And it's just like, oh shit, like, yo, this conversation's too crazy. And I'm like, oh really? I'm gonna make a song about it. And 10 million people are gonna see it. Because I know other people are talking about this shit. And they need to know that it's okay to talk about this shit. Just because you talk about race doesn't mean you're a racist. Just because you talk about politics doesn't mean that you're some slimy politician. Just because you talk about guns doesn't mean that, like, you're pro-guns or anti-guns, or doesn't mean anything. You just talk about shit. It's what people do. So I feel like mental health is one of those things that people only talk about privately. They talk about it with their loved one, or they talk about it with their parents, or they talk about it with their therapist, or talk about it with their sibling. So to me, like, the mental health stuff fits right in there. As somebody that's like dealt with a lot of anxiety problems and a lot of depression problems and weird mixtures of both those things, where you can't even tell, like, am I anxious or am I depressed, or do I just feel bad? Like, I've dealt with all that shit. So I think it's important to talk about those things publicly. So I think it helps people. And I think it normalizes not feeling good. Especially like when we talked about the news, and we talked about pop culture and movies and blah, 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 blah. And people are always primarily presented with smiles on their faces and like everything's cool. And that's bad for somebody that doesn't have a smile on their face, that doesn't feel good most of the time. For them to see that constantly in magazines and music and TV and movies, and then they think like, oh, that's what a normal person is, and I don't feel good, so I must not be normal. It's just like, it's important to present the other side of the coin. Hey, like, I'm a musician, I have like a fair amount of quote unquote fame or notoriety or whatever, and I don't feel good either a lot of the time. And it's like important for actors and musicians to stand up and say that, because then those people that are watching the smiling faces, they don't feel abnormal anymore. They don't feel like outcasts. They're like, yo, good, I'm normal. Because there's this guy that I look up to that I've seen in a movie and he doesn't feel good either, and it normalizes it, and that helps people. That's more soothing. Knowing that you are not alone in a fight for your life is way more soothing than just talking privately with your friends or your therapist or whatever. So that's my whole thing, is like, I just want people to know, like, hey, you're not feeling good, what's up? Me too. I'm in your corner, and we can kick this motherfucker in the guts together. So that's really the whole mental health aspect of my music. Making music makes me feel good. Giving it to people makes them feel good. They tell me that it helped them, and that makes me feel good again. And I get to talk to them, and hopefully they feel good. So it's just this reciprocation of helping each other feel good. And that's, at the end of the day, what this whole music thing is about. So speaking of feeling good, there's a brand new music video coming out this Friday. And if I can guarantee you one thing about this video and about this song, it's going to put a big ass smile on your face. A big ass smile on your face. So it's important. It ties into everything we've been talking about. Literally, this entire live stream, everything we've talked about is in this record. It's very important. So put a big smile on your face. Friday, 9 a.m. You can either A, sub to YouTube, or B, join the Hangover Gang newsletter to see it first. I'll email it to you Friday morning before it even goes live on YouTube. I'll put links to those things in the comments. Like my comment when you see it. It'll push it to the top of the feed and make it easier for other people to click on the links and either sub to YouTube or join the mailing list. Got the whole piece of promo out so fast. That was lit. Also, there's like 5 new designs on the website and signed albums, www.hangovergang.com. Treat yo damn self. Okay, I'm gonna go back into the comments here and get some questions. Jesus, I just saw that album cover back there with the skull on it, and like there was like a weird glare on my phone. It just looked like there was a tiny skeleton back there staring at me. It freaked me out. Okay. There's a lot of people laughing right now. So you guys are laughing and you're not sending in questions. So I just have to sit here like a hump on a log and watch you guys laugh at me. And it doesn't feel very tight. So send me some questions. Is Bigfoot in the video? No, man, his day rate was like crazy. I couldn't afford it. Okay, I'm scrolling up because there's no new questions coming, so I'm scrolling up. I'm finding your questions. What do we got here? Somebody said, Tom, are you going to make more songs like I Wish? Absolutely. Wait till you guys hear this album, man. You're going to freak out. You're going to freak out. This is the best, like, compilation of music I've ever made. And, like, yes, there's lots of stuff like I Wish. There's lots of stuff like everything. There's 20 songs, 21 songs on the thing. And 15 of them have never even been heard. Trust me. Somebody asked, what's your thoughts on juggalos? Man, I'm all good with juggalos. All good with juggalos. I used to be a juggalo. I was like super duper into ICP when I was like 14, 15 years old. Just one of those things that I just grew out of. So, yeah, I got nothing but love for the juggalos. I ain't tripping on that. I know like a lot of juggalos don't like me and shit, which is like totally fine, man. I understand that I'm not the most likable person all the time, but I mean, who is the most likable person all the time? I'm not in the business of making friends. I'm in the business of doing whatever the fuck I want. So sometimes when I do whatever the fuck I want, it's not whatever the fuck other people want. And I'll own that. I will fully own that. But yeah, to answer your question, it's all love for the jugs, man. Jessica Lupitz says, did you know that younger kids enjoy your music as much as adults? That's great. That's awesome. It's another, reason why I put everything on YouTube censored. I was just on set with like kids the other day, and I was doing a song and there were swear words in it, and I won't even like say the swear words like in front of the kids, so I'm like censoring myself in real life because I don't want to say that stuff around kids. And I know I'm sitting here with the worst fucking potty mouth ever on live stream, but I just like to pretend there's no kids out there on their phones, and I'm just gonna swear and do my thing. So I'm really glad that the kids are enjoying the music. If they were yours, tell them I said hi. Big love to the whole family. David Siebert says, what do you think of Tech Nine? You are one of my favorite rappers. Yeah, Tech's cool, man. I'm not like a big consumer of music. I know that's like awful. It's an awful thing to say and very hypocritical, but I'm not like a big consumer of music. I don't sit around and listen to a lot of music, especially like rap music, because it's just such a staple in my life, making it and stuff all the time. It's just like when I listen to music, I want to listen to something that's not what I just spent all day doing. So it's not like I've never heard a Tech Nine song before. I definitely have heard Tech Nine songs. I don't sit around and listen to Tech Nine. I don't really sit around and listen to any rapper. But yeah, what I have heard from Tech is cool. I think the Strange Music the whole camp, their whole thing is cool, man. I like that, the kind of weird dark shit. I dig that. I'm kind of like a weird dark guy. I'm sure you couldn't tell by this like beach bummy outfit that I'm rocking today, but I'm into it. Somebody said, what are your SummerSlam predictions? Did you see Brock Lesnar destroy Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw the last 2 weeks? As you guys know, big wrestling fan over here. I've been so busy with the next album and the next video that I haven't been being able to stay tuned to wrestling like I'd like to. But I watched a little highlight reel. I saw Brock Lesnar beat the hell out of Seth Rollins, and I saw the highlights. It looks good. I'm excited for SummerSlam. I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown in a couple weeks, but I'm gonna really try and tune in for SummerSlam, and hopefully it's a good one. I know that the WWE is being just annihilated right now by critics for their writing and stuff, but I'm just like, a lot of people are like, yo, like AEW is way better than WWE and blah 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 blah, and it's just like, yo, I'm a wrestling fan, and I want the wrestling, as somebody that used to be a pro wrestler, I want the wrestling business to do well. I don't just want AEW to do well or just WWE to do well. I want the wrestling business to do well. So I want AEW to flourish, and I want WWE to flourish, and I want them to compete and both do well, because that's only good for the wrestling industry. So Gabriel Garcia says, what did you think of Eddie Guerrero when he was alive? Eddie Guerrero is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I actually met Eddie Guerrero. I was on the front page of the newspaper in Canada, and Eddie Guerrero had me in a headlock because I was at an autograph signing session, and somebody came up to me and said, hey, are you that wrestler from this wrestling promotion? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, do you want to do an interview about like backyard wrestling and meet Eddie Guerrero and blah 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 blah? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. So they did this interview with me, and they brought me up, and I got to shake hands with Eddie Guerrero, and he put me in a headlock, and they took a picture and it was on the front page of the newspaper. It's the coolest thing ever. My claim to fame. Jay Meredith says, what's your favorite animal? My favorite is a wolf. I'm gonna have to go with wolf, man. That's my favorite animal too. You beat me to it. I love dogs. My dog is like, really looks like a wolf. His name's Steppenwolf, like the rock band. It has nothing to do with actual wolves. But yeah, wolves are my favorite. Dogs are my favorite, but wolves are just like slightly more badass, and I'm with that. What else do we got going on here? Michael Steele says, out of all your songs, which one do you like the most? Which one of your songs hits home the hardest for you? Yeah, that's a tough question, man. It's just like, they all hit equally as hard because at the time when I wrote the song, it was something that I really wanted to say and it really like meant something to me. So they all hit me like pretty hard on different levels. And it's funny, see, like a lot of fans were so angry and so mad about If I Was Black, and they said this directly contradicts White Boy and it directly contradicts Straight White Male. And like, to me, just take Straight White Male out of the equation. Straight White Male is satirical, it's a joke, it's for fun. Does If I Was Black directly contrast White Boy? No. It's literally the same thing I was saying in White Boy, just from a different perspective. They're two sides to the coin. And like when you're presenting these issues, as controversial as they are, it's important to like explore them from both sides of the coin. And as a white dude, I can't see the other side of the coin as accurately as someone who is on the other side of the coin can experience it. So I just have to use my imagination, and I have to imagine it. And let's just say for 1 second that song did contrast White Boy completely. Like, who out there in the world doesn't have conflicting emotions? Why can't I feel like White Boy on Tuesday and on Friday feel like If I Was Black? Why can't I feel like I Wish on Monday and on Wednesday feel like Politically Incorrect? These are contrasting feelings, and who doesn't have these conflicting emotions and conflicting feelings about stuff? I know sometimes my girlfriend watches The Bachelor, or she watches like some stupid like reality TV show, and some days I just sit there and I'm just like, yo, this is fucking garbage. I hate this. It's trash. And then other days when I've had like a big serious ass day and I just want to relax and like not do anything serious or take anything seriously, I like put that on and I can genuinely sit there and enjoy it with her and be like, oh, this is exactly what I needed right now. Who hasn't felt like, you know, these conflicting things and conflicting ideas? Just because you put something in a song doesn't mean like, this is the only way that I feel. It's the only way I'm ever going to feel. I'm going to feel like this forever. It's like, no, bro. Like, I'm 30 years old, bro. I think and feel and understand things completely differently at 30 than I did at 20 or even 25 or even 28 or 29 or even last week. I feel differently. I am growing and changing and evolving and having experiences. Like, so anyways, there's my whole spiel on that. Just saw this bad boy sitting over there. And after that giant rant, I kind of felt like a champion, so gotta sling it over the shoulder one time. If you don't know, you should know. Brand new music video drops this Friday at 9 a.m. There's two ways you can see it first. You can either A, subscribe to YouTube, or B, join the Hangover Gang newsletter. I'll put links to both in the comments as soon as this video is done. When you see my comment, like it, it'll push it up in the feed and make it easier for other people to find it and do the exact same thing. I'm probably more sick of saying that than you guys are sick of hearing it from me. Trust me, it sucks. Also, www.hangovergang.com. I have autographed albums and 4 new t-shirts and a bunch of other cool merch that you can buy. And that's the bottom line, because the WWE champion said so. Rap game Brock Lesnar. Everybody hates me. Okay, I'm going through, I'm looking for questions. You guys got any good questions? A lot of people asking when am I going back on tour. I'm going back on tour ASAP. So essentially what's going to happen is, and I've already said this, but I'll reiterate one time. New music video drops 9 a.m. Friday. And then very, very shortly after that, my new album drops. Cannot wait to show you guys this album. I just did the photo shoot for the front and back cover the other day, and it's friggin' cool. So new video Friday, then the album, then I'm going to announce the tours. So they're already like kind of set up and in the works. I just haven't announced them yet. So for everybody asking about tours, I'll be announcing them soon. If you join that HOG newsletter, you'll get the schedule before I even post it online. Somebody asked if I'd seen any ghosts. Man, I got so many ghost stories, bro. Remember this. I got so many ghost stories. Me and Nova have some really good ones. We've told each other all of our ghost stories. We even experienced a couple ghost stories together. But those are like big ass, long, crazy stories. I'll tell you guys about those some other time. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Benny Kane says, when you write, what is the process you go through to get where you need to go with the track? It's always different, man. It's always different. Sometimes I'll make the beat and produce the beat and conceptualize the song after I have the music. Sometimes I just have like an idea for a song and I write it down in my phone and start writing out lyrics or things that I want to say. And sometimes I end up with 3/4 of a song or whatever and then make the beat afterwards. It's always different. I find that like if you do anything the same way like too often, it just becomes like boring and it's no fun for you anymore. So I always just try to switch up the creative process. So I usually like get all the verses done for a song, and then maybe I'll have like a bridge or a pre or some like melody ideas. I'll have like a concept in my head of like what I want to say in the chorus. And then like usually Nova and I sit down and kind of craft the choruses together and just like craft the melodies, and we're very, very, very meticulous about melodies and harmonies and the words being used. So it's different all the time. It's different for every single song. And I think that's important. Carolyn Jarvais says, do you draw? Yeah, I do draw. Hold on, I actually have one of my drawing pads here. I'll see if there's anything in it. Oh, geez. Yes, I draw. Let me see what I got here. These might all be trash, and I'm not going to show you anything. But some of them might be cool. I don't know. Let's see. I drew this sketch of Iron Giant snapping this dude in half. That's cool. I drew that. This book is actually like a book of shit that I was drawing in the van on tour. This like skull ice cream cone thing. What else I got in here? Oh, the rest is just scribbles of like things that I needed to remember to do while on the road. And then I don't know, I got all these like loose leaf papers here. It's probably all trash, I don't know. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's kind of like a, I don't know. There's like a deer in the forest and a skull moon and shit. Little cabin and stuff. Yeah, the rest of these are kind of trash. I have like a book somewhere in the house that's just full of like all my good drawings, but I don't know where they're at. But yeah, I draw. It's fun. Desiree Blankenship says, would you draw me up a tat? Yeah, sure. Maybe like you could get married sometime soon and I could like play the reception and tattoo people in the lobby. Maybe we could work out a little package deal here and really like get a bag. No, I'm just playing. Yo, Timmy Provo says, does Nova really play Minecraft? Bro, are you kidding me, bro? Yo, Nova Minecraft's so hard. I'm not even gonna lie, I Minecraft hard too. Real hard, bro. I'm out here building masterpieces in that shit. Like, bro, I'll play Minecraft on Xbox for like 5 hours till like 2 in the morning, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go to bed. And then I'll get in bed and bust out the Switch, and I'll start building on the Switch. I can't stop. Actually, lately I've been playing Dragon Builders too. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like, it's kind of lame, but it's very like Minecraft. You get to build stuff and whatever. I like games that you can build in. I like the survival games where you have to like collect food and water and build like shelter and shit like that. Because it's just like when you play like a video game that doesn't have any stuff like that, you're kind of like stuck within the confines of like what the video game will like allow you to do. But when they give you like freedom, like in a survival game where you can build stuff, it just feels like you're actually like accomplishing something, or it's just like so much more artistic when you're like, yo, I get to build shit. I like it. Somebody said, who am I voting for? I don't, even if I could vote, which I can't, I don't do that shit. I'm not convinced that they really count the votes anyway. I'm convinced that, and I'm not going to write it off entirely, but I'm pretty sure that they got their mind made up of like who's going to be president before they even count any votes. And I think that if like the person that they want to get named president doesn't get enough votes, I'm pretty sure they just start throwing fucking baskets of the other person's votes in the fucking garbage, because they don't really care at the end of the day. Is it a democracy or is it a fucking trick? I don't know, man. And even if they do count your votes, it's like you only have like 4 shitty choices. So what? Like, that's like going to a restaurant and they're like, yo, we're serving shit pizza, shit sandwiches, shit pancakes, and shit cereal. But you got a choice. You get to pick what shit you eat. I'm like, what? I'm going to just starve, bro. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to vote. I'm good. Somebody said you should go on Survivor or The Amazing Race. Bro, I applied for The Amazing Race before. I'm trying to go on Survivor or The Amazing Race. I'm trying to do that. That'd be sick. I'm telling you right now, if Nova and I went on The Amazing Race, only one of us is making it home alive. I'm telling you. And it's probably going to be her. Because Nova's way smarter than I am. And she always like says, oh, we should do things this way or we should do things that way. And I'm way more stubborn than she is. And I'm like, no, we'll do things my way, the hard way. And then I always regret it afterwards. And I'm pretty sure that would be the case on The Amazing Race. She'd be like, oh, like, we should just ride on horseback to this next place. And I'd be like, nope, we're going to fix this car. Because if we fix this car, then all we have to do is find gas and then we can drive there. And she'll be like, yo, it's only a half-hour horse ride. And I'm like, no, let's fix this car for the next 3 days and then we'll go. And then she'll probably just end up killing me. And that would be the end of that. So somebody, Charlotte, says, do you do strength training? No, I don't train. I haven't worked out in a year. It's so natural. No, I really should. I should go back to the gym. I'm sorry that I look like shit. It sucks. It really sucks. Oh man, Ryan J. Shufty with the heavy questions. Would you rather be deaf or blind, and why? Oh, bro. That's a gnarly question, dude. You're like one of those people that's like, would you rather die by being burned alive or drowned? Like, would you rather sweat mayonnaise or have Cheetos for fingers, bro? I don't know, man. These are the unanswerable questions. I guess I'd be deaf. I guess. But then I couldn't make music anymore, but at least I could, like... I'm steady walking into shit all the time and I can see. So if I was blind, I just feel like my life would just be, like, hectic. It would be hell. So I'm just going to have to go with keeping the eyesight. I don't know. I'm looking for your questions. Would you, that was the deaf or blind, not going back down that road. Rachel says, are you scared of death/dying? I mean, I'm more scared of dying than I am scared of the dark. It's not like something that I think about all day long, but like, I don't know, man. You gotta be a pretty wild person to not ever like consider your own like mortality and like wonder about like what that's gonna be and like have some type of like freaked out feeling about it. Like, I don't know. So, okay, one more time. I'll just have to say, new video goes down on Friday. There's two ways to see it. First, you can either A, subscribe to YouTube, or B, join the Hangover Gang newsletter. I will put the links to both of those things in the comments. Please like my comment when you see it. It'll push it to the top of the feed and make it easier for other people to do it. Brand new album. Well, sorry, not brand new album. Older album, my last album, Death Threats, every copy autographed. www.hangovergang.com. Use the code OFFICIALMEMBER to get 20% off that or any of the brand new shirts that are in the store. I designed them with one of my favorite artists ever. They're all the death metal designs that just went out. Do your thing, treat yourself, get something for your wife or boyfriend. I've had an absolutely amazing time hanging out with you guys tonight. It's always a pleasure. You know, it's Wednesday or Thursday? It's Wednesday night. I know a lot of people have to work tomorrow. I know a lot of people work today. I really, really do appreciate you guys coming and spending your evening with me on Facebook Live. It's very, very cool. I really appreciate it. I know how valuable your time is, and you chose to spend it with me, and that means a lot to me. So let's get ready. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., I'm going to drop the artwork for the single. It'll give away the title of the song. It'll give you guys a little taste of what we're in store for on Friday. Like I said, if I guarantee one thing, this is going to put a smile on your face. And I definitely owe you guys a smile. So I hope you enjoy it. Friday, 9 a.m., new video, www.hangovergang.com. I'll jump in the comments right away here. Oh, this is your people's champion, the leader of the Hangover Gang, the coolest fucking dude in the universe, best rapper of all time, Tom MacDonald, signing out. I love you guys so much. It's Hangover Gang forever. I'll see y'all later.